Detroit. You're waking up with Woodward and Maine, your source for all the insider information on the defending NFC North champion Detroit Lions. With insight from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster and rising star Matt Broder. Get ready, Detroit. It's now time for Woodward and Maine.
It's 3.
Conversation.
Yeah, let's do it.
1.
Okay. Let's go, baby. Good morning. This is Woodward and Main Street. Welcome on this Victory Friday, Terry. Good morning.
You are so happy.
So
the day
happy
after the Lions win.
He's so happy.
Whether it's Victory Monday, Victory Friday, Victory Tuesday, you're all geeked up.
11 straight victory whatevers. How about that?
You know what? I'm going to be a little salty right now. No, not about.
What?
No, shut up. Not about the win, but I was listening to all the pundits leading up to the game, and I heard I forget the guy's name, but somebody from ESPN who said Thursday night you're going to find out that Jordan Love is a better quarterback than Jared Goff and
LaFleur.
No, not
Matt LaFleur better than Dan Campbell.
No. He's better than him, and you're going to find that out, and it's not even close.
You were watching Easy. You were probably watching the heavyweights.
I mean, it's
It
okay
was
to be
not
wrong.
the heavyweights.
I mean, no, Easy loves Jordan Love.
I know he does, but it must have been one of his cousins or something.
Someone on you said it was a national pundit. Mm-hmm. Jordan Love, he's a good quarterback.
He is.
But the Lions have the number three person in the MVP race right now, Mr. Jared Goff. Mr. Jared Goff.
Okay.
You see him lead that team to victory last night? This is Lions on Thursday Night Football, Terry, in front of the world.
Okay. Now, about your coach.
Coach of the Year front runner?
Well,
Sorry to cut you off. I'm just throwing that out there early in the show.
is he a dumbass or smarter than everybody else?
Last night? Oh, you
Can
want me
be
to answer
both.
that? Or
Last
was that a
night,
rhetorical
yes.
question, Woodcock? Last night he was smarter than everyone else. To me, it was the best coach game in the NFL all season. Now, the ball bounces a different way, or Jared Goff maybe hands the ball off a little differently at the end.
Now, that play was unnecessary, but I get what he's trying to do the final play of the game. Not the final play of the game, but he does. Dan Campbell, we have to come up with a name for it, but Dan Campbell always sets himself up to have the offense on the field at the end of the game with the opportunity to kick a field goal or score a touchdown with 2 seconds left.
Yeah.
Like Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick created the let's get the ball at the end of the first half and then have it at the beginning of the second half, so we're keeping their offense on the field, off the field, and we've got an opportunity to score twice in a row. Dan Campbell has created are you giving me the ball with 5 minutes left? You'll never see it again.
Nope.
Ever.
Nope. He's ending with the ball on offense. Mm-hmm. His strength. Also, he's just not giving it back to you. Jordan Love, even with no timeouts, you give the ball back to him with, 43 seconds left? A little under a minute.
Well,
Dan Campbell wanted the ball.
Today's NFL, all you got to do is, get like 20 or 30 yards.
They were in field goal range once they crossed the 50 with Jake Bates. Mm-hmm. With Jake Bates. You said we were talking 3 minutes ago. In the NFL, today's NFL, the blowouts are done, right?
I said here on the show, let me apologize to our people out there. Yesterday, we did a prediction on the final score and who's going to win. And I said the Lions would win 35-31. I apologize I didn't get it exactly right. It was 34-31.
That's a pretty good guess. I'm impressed with you, Terry, getting over 30. I feel like I'm the one getting ripped for picking the Lions to score over 30 points when pretty sure they average 32 points a game. Terry.
Sure. Well, yeah, that's true. Well, that was tribute to you since you weren't here.
Thank you.
You're having
Thank
a good
you.
time.
I've had a really good, what is it, 8 days? Lions victory on Thanksgiving, Michigan victory on Saturday, and now another Thursday night victory.
Right.
Yep.
And you were down there with the dogs.
Sure was. I was right in the trenches, baby.
Now, you didn't wear anything blue, did you?
I did. I wore my Michigan. It wasn't a hoodie. I wore a little Michigan shirt.
Anybody
Surrounded by
tried to beat you
20. Pardon?
Anybody tried to beat you up?
No, I had a pretty calm, respectful-ish group I was watching the game with, but
So
it was
you were
1 on
up in the
20.
luxury suites.
It was 1 on 20. We actually weren't at the game, which meant it was all Ohio State. It was all Ohio State, but that clock hit 0 and the score is 13 to 10.
Before the game, were they making fun of you?
Yeah, yeah.
And then after the game, would they even talk to you?
No, it was dead silent, dead silent. Because I was kind of standing or sitting in the back. This was the look.
You know what? No. You said something smart ass to somebody after the game.
One guy.
Okay. I thought you were gonna be like the typical Michigan fans. Oh no, we don't do anything classless like that.
Oh, we're classy.
So you admit you did.
No,
I knew you did.
Yeah, a little bit. I did. It was ugly. Let's call a spade. Ohio State lost the game. Michigan didn't exactly win it.
Correct.
Ryan Day may have lost his job. I may have called that back in, April? On Wake Up Woodward?
I think so, yeah.
Nonetheless, we could talk about that epic victory in Columbus all day long, but this is a Lions show.
It is.
And my name's Matt Broder. That's Terry Foster, the legend.
Hello.
Weren't you at Washington University in St. Louis?
We went there. Celine was thinking of going to school there.
Yeah?
So we took a trip there, a little driving trip. I like to, when you always go somewhere, you always fly somewhere. But
Right.
I decided I wanted to take a little driving trip. So we drove to St. Louis.
Okay.
Stopped in Indy for a minute. Went to St. Louis. And then we did the same thing, but we went to Indy to St. Louis, Memphis, Louisville, and then back home.
Louisville.
I learned that when I was covering the Sugar Bowl one time. Alabama played Louisville. And I said, "Oh, you're from Louisville?" And they said, "Oh, I'm from Louisville."
You can't say Louisville.
Right.
Louisville. Did she pick any of the schools on that trip? Or did she go somewhere
No,
else?
she went to Stanford.
Congratulations, despite the money spent on that
Oh,
trip.
yeah, that was a lot of money. Like, I have no money now.
Sometimes you have to pay for her to decide she doesn't want those things, or your kids to decide. I'll give you parental advice, Terry, because I know all about it.
Wait. Now that my kids are 25 and 22, have moved out of the state, go ahead, give me some advice now.
Yeah, Xavier McKinney, like if you're a player guarding or expected to play Amon-Ra St. Brown, don't talk shit. Why would anyone go after anything about the Lions offense?
Well, now you don't want to talk shit to Tim Patrick.
Any of them.
He was a scary guy last night.
Tim Patrick was money. Was money. What was it? Jared Goff hit NFL record, tied for an NFL record, hit 6 different receivers with 5 receptions or more. Have yourself a day.
You know what? The Lions, we're missing something. We got to come up with some names for these Lions for so many reasons. One, the Dan Campbell thing where I'm going to win or lose the game at the end. Mm-hmm. One. 2, the Lions are going to get a key contribution from dudes we don't even know who they are. Can't pronounce their names. Don't know where they're from. Don't know why they're on the field. Well, we know why they're on the field because of injuries and stuff. But that's something that's going to happen. Because, when they were talking about next man up when Hutchinson went down, I said, that's baloney. Nobody is going to be able to duplicate or even come close to what he did. But they did. Once again, I was on here with Detroit Kool-Aid now. And I'm an old guy now. And my memory, not so good. But how many games have the Lions lost since Hutchinson went down?
There's the old drop in the system that would go 0.0.
Or as I like to call it, Zittis.
They've won 0. In fact, their defense has gotten better.
Right.
It feels like the more people they lose, the better they get. Mm-hmm. 13 defensive expected contributors are on the IR. They lost to Lee McNeil relatively early in that game yesterday. Brian Branch was banged up. Like, if not for Pat O'Connor's all-pro game last night, The dude was a beast in the backfield all day long. Tim Patrick was the difference maker on offense. Like, what more can you say about this team?
They are resilient.
Yeah.
It goes beyond gritty.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is magical. Now, I'll admit, like early in the season, I'm like, why are they going to Tim Patrick? Why? Who's this guy?
Yeah.
Now, last night it was like, oh, Tim Patrick.
Yeah.
Oh, Patrick again.
Yeah.
Oh, this dude is getting open.
Yeah.
And so now, I think now what yesterday did or last night did, now teams have to rethink doubling St. Brown. Because, you know, he was doubled all night last night, and they had little packages to make sure that he didn't get it. But now Tim Patrick was like, okay, go ahead. I'll kill you.
Pick your poison.
Right.
Pick your poison, opposing DT. This is now, I don't even think there were any more ways to prove it. This is another type of win. The Lions prove they can win when you take the run game out of it. You kind of shut St. Brown down a little bit. At least you focus on shutting him down. Tim Patrick shows up. Sam Laporta makes some big catches. J-Mo, a quiet 5 for 80.
Yep.
Like, they keep finding new ways to win. I've never seen anything like it. They knew going in, they got to lean on their offense. Dan Campbell and all the players in their post-game press conference, they weren't hiding that. Hey, we're going to be a little depleted on defense before the game, before losing a Lee McNeil. All right, so we're going to go for it every fourth down, every chance we get. What were your thoughts on some of those fourth downs?
I was like, you know, the first 2 touchdowns were both on fourth down plays. And at least for one of them, I said, just kick the damn field goal.
Yeah.
And then on the second one, I'm like, hey, he's on a roll. This is what they do. Go for it.
Were they on fourth down plays, or did they come just after a fourth down conversion?
No, those are fourth down plays.
They were on fourth down plays, so there were 2 touchdowns that came off of that.
Sure. Instead of getting field goals, because obviously Dan Campbell feels, and a lot of people feel this, if you kick field goals, you're going to lose.
Yeah. You got to score touchdowns in the NFL.
Right.
And what did it come down to? Not the Lions, how they won, but, Terry, the Packers were 4 for 4 in the red zone up until their final offensive drive.
Mm-hmm.
And what do the Lions do? We're talking at the end of the game. You've got your 5th and 6th stringers in there that some of you, which you just picked off the street. As many awards and accomplishments as Jamal Adams has in his trophy case, he joined the team Sunday. So you got all these new players at the end of the game. They played their ass off. They've given up 31 points, but they played their ass off.
They did.
And they showed up.
And there's a reason for that. Guys like Jamal Adams, who, you know, he's not that old, but he's 30, and he's had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's probably at home thinking, my NFL career is done, or maybe I'll be on somebody's practice squad next year. Now you put an old head in the middle of a race for a championship. Old guys are like, oh, man, these bones don't feel that bad. I can do this. So at least in a short period of time, he can be effective.
Yeah.
And I equated with what they're going to do with Jamal Adams is, you know, you got that tube of toothpaste, and it gets right down to the end. You're still trying to squeeze a little toothpaste out. Now, here's something we used to do. We used to, get the toothpaste and twist it with a key.
Really?
So we can get every ounce or every drop of toothpaste out of that. That's what the Lions are going to do with Jamal Adams.
So Jamal Adams is the toothpaste. Aaron Glenn and Kelvin Shepard are
they're squeezing that thing.
Yeah. Aaron Glenn's the squeezer. Kelvin Shepard's the toothpaste.
Right.
Pause.
So the goal is you
the
keep,
key.
you milk Jamal Adams for everything you can, so that at the final game of his career with the Lions, he's being wheeled out in a wheelchair.
I'm sure he wouldn't choose it any different way.
No, he'd be like, he'd throwing his fist up in there.
He wants a ring. He wants to ring. He wants to play for Dan Campbell. Around the first, says in the chat. By the way, shout out to everyone in the chat. Again, Woodward and Maine. My name is Matt Broder, Terry Foster. We got JB, Jeremy Bryant, in the TD booth. Good morning, Jeremy.
Hey, good morning, fellas.
Around the first says, how about starting with Jamal Adams and Quan to set the tone early? Good job making them feel a part of the team off the rip. On that very first play on defense, Zadarius Smith gets the sack. Jamal Adams is getting pressure from the other side. They maybe knew, let's take advantage of the adrenaline of we'll call them the old guys. The old guys early. Let them go after Jordan Love. Jordan Love had a brutal first half.
You know,
a lot thanks to these guys.
Pressure.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa, man, these dudes are for real. He said, he's saying, well, I thought the Lions couldn't put pressure on the quarterback. What's going on here?
I was told they had pressure all day long with guys that you don't know, with your Miles Adams, your AQM. Try to pronounce his full name. Pat O'Connor. What a game. It was special. But Terry, they took the running backs out of the game, out of the run game, but the offense still found a way to get the ball in the running backs' hands.
Right.
They just decided to throw it to him.
Yeah, that's a bad sign when you look at the Lions offense and you say, okay, you're not going to establish the run, and St. Brown is not a factor. Normally, that's a recipe for disaster, but the Lions find a way. Go to Patrick, and then they get creative on the run. And I want to talk about the last fourth down play.
Yeah. Like the very last one?
Yeah.
like fourth and inches?
When Jared Goff falls on the ground and barely gets it to Montgomery. Now, in the grand scheme of things, that's a dumb decision and a dumb play. Because you're already in field goal range. So why gamble in that situation? I understand Dan Campbell worries about opposing quarterbacks having 40 or 50 seconds left on the clock. He thinks they're going to march down the field. The second thing is it was a running play on a night where the Lions couldn't run. But it's sort of like I always equated to basketball. It's like let's say, who's your favorite basketball player? Let's go.
Current. We'll go Cade Cunningham.
Kevin Durant.
Okay, KD.
Let's say Kevin Durant is 3 for 50 in a game. Who's going to get the ball at the end? Kevin Durant. Because you know he's going to make it. David Montgomery was shut down for pretty much most of the game. So the Lions are like, okay, fine. Now this is where the game is decided. Who we going to? We're going to our bell cow. And over Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
And so it worked.
It worked. And the play before, they gave it to David Montgomery too. Right up the middle. They went to their strength. They went to their bread and butter. Say, just stop it. We'll take David Montgomery, Penei Sewell, Kevin Zeitler, and an incredible block from Sam Laporta over anything you got.
Right. So the Lions, at least last night, remind me of the Kansas City Chiefs. We've been bitching about the Kansas City Chiefs not looking good all season, except in the last 3 minutes of a game.
That's all you need.
They make plays. They stay in the game. They make plays. And the Lions this season have just been busting people upside the head, winning by 18 points, 30 points, and stuff like that. Those days are done now. Lions are not going to be they're not going to be walking over anybody.
No, you got the Bills coming up at home, the Bears away, the 49ers away, and then the Vikings at home.
Right.
We're going to have 4 close games, you're saying?
Probably. The only game I could see getting out of hand where the Lions would win by a couple touchdowns would be San Francisco, believe it or not.
Actually, I was thinking the same thing. And you're not picking that out of these 4 games at the beginning of the season to be a blowout at the end.
No, but you never know what the end of the season is going to be about because you don't know what teams are playing for, what your situation is. So you can look at San Francisco at the beginning of the season. Oh, that's a tough game. The Lions could lose that game. Now, I think that could be the easiest.
It might be. And then you could be playing for the division and NFC championship game against the Vikings in the final week of the season at home in Ford Field.
Right.
It could turn out that way.
Now, if it's me, the Lions want the number 1 seed because they want home field throughout.
Oh, yeah, they do.
I fear if the Lions have the number 2 seed and Philadelphia has the number 1 seed. If Minnesota has the number 1 seed and the Lions are number 2, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. Because it's a dome versus being outside in January?
I don't respect the team as much. Yeah, the dome thing plays a factor, but I don't respect the team as much.
I can appreciate that. See, the goal is the number 1 seed. You want everything to go through Ford Field. I'm not scared of going anywhere, though. Like, this team is built for everywhere. Dome, outdoor, cold weather, warm weather, whatever.
Well,
their fans shouldn't worry.
Said it. We'll play on grass. We'll play on turf. We'll play on asphalt.
Mud.
We'll
play in mud.
Right. They beat Green Bay in the mud and on the turf.
Yeah, and I was told all offseason, Jordan Love's better than Jared Goff. Jordan Love's better than Jared Goff because he's got a little mobility. Mm-hmm. When are we going to start factoring in, like, the clutch gene or how you perform in the final 2 minutes of the half in the fourth quarter? And you throw a bad interception, his one big mistake that led to a touchdown. What do you do the next drive? Lead him right down the field for another touchdown.
That's
Take
true.
a 28-24 lead. Like that's Jared Goff. That's your quarterback being stable up here between the ears.
That's true. But the play after the interception was key because we've seen Jared Goff, when he throws one interception, here comes the second one, and maybe the third one is coming, or
the fifth one.
Or the fifth one, yeah. But he will throw like 4 in 2 games or something, and then he'll go like 8 games, no picks.
Yeah, happens.
So it was, to me, a key to the game was the fact that Jared Goff didn't throw another interception after the first one, got his stuff together, and it was like it never happened.
Yeah. And you're not going into the game. You don't want Jared Goff to throw 41 passes. Like, that's not in many people's game plan of how to win a normal Lions game. But we know, and actually it probably wasn't even in the Lions game plan to get that heavy load on his arm. Pause. But the run game wasn't working. Wasn't as effective as normal. So you had to rely on it.
It didn't work.
Okay, it didn't work. They both averaged, probably 3.3 yards per carry. It wasn't the best game on the run, but you get it to him in the screen game. You get him to it in the check downs. I want to talk about Jared Goff, but real quick, what would you have done on that 4th and inches at the end of the game? Do you agree with Dan Campbell, or are you kicking that field goal?
I guess I would have kicked the field goal.
Yeah.
But I understand what he was doing. There is, in the NFL, 40 seconds is a long time, especially when you get the ball at the 30. So essentially, you got to get 30 yards. You got 3 or 4 plays to do it, so that's doable. So it was probably the smart thing, but that's still was a smart thing, but it was still dumb.
Yeah, I got to steal one. Sense. I got to steal one from a tour who's in our chat often. I don't know if he's here this morning, but I actually saw his name pop up on a different post-game show last night, and he's called them balls of titanium. Dan Campbell just have balls of titanium. Just let it flop right on the table. But what about that 4th down that was unsuccessful? Lions were 4 for 5, but the one unsuccessful one was in their own zone.
Right.
On their 30.
But you know what? That's what he does. If it's 4, he sets up 3rd down plays for 4th down.
Yeah.
Other coaches don't do that. And, to me, you got the best punter in the game.
That's where I'm at. On that one.
I would have flipped the field.
Yeah.
But I'm not hating on him for taking that 4th down play because this is what the Lions do, and this is what they're going to continue to do.
Yeah.
And I thought Dan Campbell, once he would back down when his team got better. That's not the case. This is who I am. I'm telling my players this is who I am. I'm telling my players if it's 4th and short, we're going for it. Mm-hmm. So be prepared. Don't come off the field. Don't be thinking, okay, I get a rest now. No, your job's not done.
They feed off it. It's hard to really comprehend it. I've been at many of the calls. I've been maybe wanting to go the conservative route. I'm sure there are a lot of fans who were cringing at the thought of going for it. But you look at how Jared Goff and how these players talk about it after the game. Jared Goff says he feels that confidence. It means everything to him. And yeah, as they've gotten better, he's doubled down because they're better and it's harder to stop.
Right.
How do you stop them in 4 down, 10 yards, 4 downs, this offense?
No, that's true. But although I would say for one night, I was afraid I would have been afraid to try to get that 1 yard on that defense last night.
Yeah.
Because they were coming up and they were stacking those dudes up.
Yeah.
Now, if it's the LA Rams, I'm like, all right, 4th and 3, go for it. Give it to Montgomery. It doesn't matter. They're not going to stop it.
Right.
But my fear was that Green Bay was playing so well against the run that it wouldn't work.
Yeah. I was hoping that the one that failed, they ran the little pitch to the outside to Gibbs. That's a Montgomery play. Like I almost feel like every 4th and 1, and we can't just give it to him every time, but I want Montgomery on those short yardage situations. But
you know what? On the last 4th and 1, I would have passed it. Green Bay showed no signs of stopping screen passes or things underneath, little quick hitters. They had no answer, no clue. So I would have passed and see if that worked. But, they don't like to pass because if you don't make it, then you get nothing and you're done.
But this team is different. This team is different. In terms of stopping the run, how about this Lions defense stopping the run? Like, no DJ Reader.
Right.
No Lee McNeil for most of the game. And we know the list. No Hush, no Kaminsky, no Pascal, no Levi, no Wingo, no Davenport, no... get rid of the top 10 defensive linemen. Josh Jacobs. Where was it? Josh Jacobs, 18 attempts for 66 yards. They had 99 yards on the game.
He's a beast.
He's a beast.
He is a beast.
He had 3 touchdowns, but they never let him get loose. He had one 19-yard run. Jordan Love had a 14-yard run. They had 99 rush yards on the game. Right. They shut down the run. Pat O'Connor, AQM, Zadarius Smith, Broderick Martin, and Jack freaking Campbell.
Right.
Who just continues to elevate.
He broke some tackles last night, but
yeah.
I've seen Josh Jacobs in other games. Somebody hit him, and he's like, bitch, get off me.
Yeah.
And he just keeps on rolling. He's going to get his 100-and-something yards. They'll be tough yards. But last night, he got tough yards. I'll give him that, but he still was held to 66 yards.
How impressed were you just with the defense in general? I mean, the first Packers scoring drive, Terry, was a good drive. It was a good one. 11 plays, 70 yards. They held the ball for 7 minutes, 26 seconds, their time of possession.
And they ran the ball 10 out of 12 plays.
Yeah. Weird. I thought Jordan Love was, okay.
Let me stop you. He is a good quarterback.
He is.
He's good. He's going to be a bear in this division. But to say that he's better than Jared Goff and it's not even close, it's irresponsible to me.
It's irresponsible. Great first touchdown drive, but then the rest of their touchdowns, Terry, came off the interception from Goff, short field. Then came off the short field from the 4th down, failed attempt on the own 30. This defense, Aaron Glenn, one of the best coach games of the year.
You mean the guy that should have been fired?
That's what people said. That's what people said. But no, the toothpaste analogy, I love that you brought that up. I can't get that out of my head. They keep squeezing every ounce out of these. We'll call some of them are vets.
And guess what, bro? It's not even Crest or Gleam. It's the no-name toothpaste.
Yeah.
It's like JB's toothpaste. Let's squeeze as much as we can out of it.
You don't even know who it is.
Right.
Have you ever seen anything like it? Does this tell you that the second how elite is the secondary? And they're still getting better, but how elite is the secondary?
Well, it is, but still the secondary has more PIs than any other secondary in football.
They do.
So,
but
it's
that's
feast
not
or famine. But when it's time to make a play, they do.
For me. And I'm thinking about Terrion Arnold, but okay, yeah. They are the most penalized team. They're there to make the penalties.
And he got screwed on one.
He did. That one was kind of soft.
In the end zone?
Yeah, where he was it on Christian Watson?
Mm-hmm.
That was Christian Watson's big drive or whatever. So Josh Jacobs scored the very next play. Another touchdown given up on, first and, half, 2.5 yards to go.
Right.
Insanity.
I thought Hansey played it right. And plus the receiver's almost out of bounds.
Yeah. He was. I'm wondering actually if he's allowed to be the next man in to catch it. I'm forgetting how that rule plays out. But Terrion Arnold is there to be penalized. I just remember, whether it's Kendall Vildor or old Lions of the past, the quarterbacks aren't even close to the wide receivers to make the penalty. They're open. They catch the ball. It's like Christian Watson's 59-yarder. Again, did they get a touchdown off of that? Yeah, one big play. That defense, man, it showed up. The forced fumble from Carlton Davis, that was huge.
Yeah,
that was huge. Recovered by David Long Jr.
Yeah,
senior, third,
that
whatever.
was a fumble that never should have happened, but Davis made a great play. The guys passed him, so you figure, okay, that's a big play. He'll keep the ball, but Carlton, man, had those big, long, rubbery arms, and he got his hand on the ball. They made some amazing plays last night, and I say this, it was a great game, not just because the Lions won. Even if they lost, it would have been a great game.
Yeah.
It was these two teams, they were in each other's faces. You can do this, I'm going to do it better. So they were back and forth, but Dan Campbell made sure he was going to have the ball last.
Yeah.
And that's what he does now.
Terry, it's decisions like that. The coaching from top to bottom in this game. It's why I think Dan Campbell is the front runner for Coach of the Year award, which is hard to do when you're expected to win the NFC North and compete to win the NFC before the season. Am I crazy to think that he should actually win it? If it ended today, I think he should. Why not?
If he goes 16-1, he'll win it.
You think still he has to go 16-1?
If he goes 14-3, 15-2, he won't win it. Because Coach of the Year, this is my pet peeve. Now you see you're getting on my nerves now. But Coach of the Year is not the guy who does the best job of coaching a team that year. Basically what they do is they pick a coach whose team wins increase the most, more than anybody else.
Yeah.
When you look at it, that's pretty much what they do.
Yeah.
Like a guy in his heyday, Bill Belichick, can't win Coach of the Year. Here in Detroit, Chuck Daly can't win Coach of the Year because he had a good, steady team, won a couple championships. He can't win Coach of the Year. But you can get somebody who coaches like J.B. Bickerstaff. He could win Coach of the Year next year because they're not going to be good this year. But let's say the Pistons win their 33, 34 games this year, and the next year they win 49 games.
Get into the playoffs, not the play-in.
He is Coach of the Year.
Because he made a salad out of spoiled vegetables.
Right.
Not expected to win 50 games, but you win 63.
Right.
And whatnot in the NBA. I don't know, man. I know that's how it is and that's how they vote. But like when you really look at this team and the coaching, the actual coaching and how that impacts this team. And considering everything else going on in the season, the NFC North, they showed graphics all night long.
Yeah, I'm going to scold you again. Shame on you.
What?
You're thinking logically. You're not supposed to do that.
Well, yeah, I guess that's how the voting goes in today's polls.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is fallacy. For instance, people are always mad about A.J. Hinch.
Yeah. Oh,
Sorry. A lot of people said should have won Manager of the Year. Here's why he didn't win it. He didn't win it because a lot of people voted before they knew the Tigers were going to get into the playoffs. They voted when the Tigers, it looked like they weren't going to make the playoffs. They were just another team.
yeah.
So once again, don't understand why do you have to submit your votes 2-3 weeks before the season ends, and then you announce it 2 months after the season ends?
Idiotic.
Where's the urgency?
Idiotic.
Right.
There's no need. There's no reason it should be structured like that. A.J. Hinch, I think he should have won it. He should have at least been second. But respectfully to the Royals manager, it should have been A.J. Hinch in second. I'm okay if you give it to Steven Vogt. Right now, Dan Campbell deserves it. This team is good because they are well coached, because they're bought in, because St. Brown has an off day. But what's he have? He still has 5 for 43. But St. Brown isn't that number one who's moping. It is an off day statistically for him, but you can't say that he didn't make an impact on that game. He wasn't a huge reason why they won that game. You have a superstar wide receiver who's not moping. He's not throwing his helmet on the sideline demanding the ball. He's out there blocking his ass off. He definitely made an impact on the game.
And now I have seen diva wide receivers do that. Slam their CD Lamb.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys were actually winning a game, and he's stomping on the sideline. He's pissed because he's not getting the ball. I've been told that football is the ultimate team game.
Yeah.
Even if the other team has shut you down, if your team is up a touchdown or two, be happy. Because what we did when we got up this morning, put on these pads and did where we came here with the idea to win a football game.
Mm-hmm.
Not for me to look good and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, St. Brown, he's a different breed. I mean, look at his dad. Dad, Mr. Universe. His dad basically got him prepared for the NFL. Still in his ass now. He was giving advice the other day, saying basically St. Brown, if you win a Super Bowl this year, and this is his message to his son, it's you got to be better the following year because everybody's after you. Everybody knows what you can do. Everybody knows that you are feeling good about yourself. So he said to St. Brown, if you win a Super Bowl this year, you got to be better in 2025, in 2026, because
they're washing the windows right over there. That scared you. It's early. I wasn't expecting squeegees.
Any sound. Can you do that like at 9 o'clock?
Yeah, maybe. That's early one. Whatever they're putting up there is going to freeze. But
no, they got that good stuff.
That good. That Michael Jackson bad. I feel you. Oh, now my mind gets thrown off. But you're right. St. Brown has that mentality. It still has to be coached and spread throughout that team. Tim Patrick, he blocks his ass off. Jameson Williams, what these wide receivers do in the run game, it helps everything. And then, just for Xavier McKinney, at the end of the game, it was St. Brown who made the big play, who made the big catch to extend the drive.
And you knew it was coming.
And what I love, too, although the third one was incomplete, right at the beginning of the game, Ben Johnson trying to hit St. Brown like 3 times in a row. Mm-hmm. That's what Ben Johnson does for this. That's what this team's about. They're all aware of what's going on and off the field for these players, whether they'll admit it or not. Ben Johnson wants St. Brown to be able to talk his shit to Xavier McKinney. On National Tight Ends Day, he's going to throw to Brock Wright. He's going to throw to Laporta.
Right.
Speaking of Brock Wright and Laporta, how about Laporta and Zylstra? Actually, you got something to say? Because
I was going to say, if there's a National Right Tackle Day, then Penei Sewell is going to throw that pass. Penei Sewell is going to maybe carry the ball 4 or 5 times. Mm-hmm. So he'll hook him up too. But one thing I wanted to say is the Lions. I think the message from Dan Campbell, based on what we saw last night and what we've seen most of the season, no matter how this season ends, his message to his team is going to be, don't be satisfied.
Yeah. Win a Super Bowl, don't be satisfied?
It's not over.
2?
Yeah, if they win the Super Bowl, he's going to say, we're not done, fellas.
Yeah.
We got to work harder.
Buy-in coming. Mm-hmm. That's how they think. Mm-hmm. That's how they think. I was about to real quick shout out on David Montgomery's first touchdown run. The blocks from Sam Laporta and Shane Zylstra to open up that hole, and obviously Penei Sewell, the best offensive lineman, arguably one of the best players in the NFL. They created it was special. It was special. Unless you had another direction you want to go, I want to ask you where you put Jared Goff in the MVP race, and if to you, because you've seen more Detroit Lions quarterbacks than I have, is he already the best quarterback in Lions history?
Just build the statue.
I'm going to say Stafford is still better than Jared Goff.
Wait, what?
Hang on. I'll tell you why.
What?
I'll tell you why. Stafford had to play for a flawed organization. If Jared Goff played during the time that Stafford played, Jared Goff would have been released, cut. He would have been thrown out of town because he wouldn't have had this structure. Matthew Stafford played for Matt Millen, Quinn Trisha. That is a shaky foundation there.
Yeah.
I think talent-wise, Stafford is still better than Jared Goff.
Oh, talent-wise,
in his prime.
Yes, Terry. That's not what I asked on. I just want to make sure that.
Yeah, I'm not going to change.
Stafford
Ask
is
it
the
again.
better quarterback than Jared Goff. The better
Yes.
Lions quarterback than Jared Goff.
Yes.
I wholeheartedly disagree with you.
Tell me why.
I love you, Terry. You're a legend, but I can't. What did Stafford do in Detroit?
Okay.
Nothing.
Look what Stafford played for.
Look what Jared Goff played for 2 years.
And he stunk.
But he turned it. He led that team and that organization. That was a shaky foundation of a bunch of rookie coaches and GMs.
All right.
And players.
Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, or Matt Millen and Marty Morningweg.
All day long, Holmes
Quinn
and Campbell.
Trisha.
All day long,
Okay.
Holmes and Campbell. But what about 2021? Are you saying the same thing?
The problem with the Lions wasn't the quarterback. The problem with the Lions is the organization was bad. Matthew Stafford had more last-minute touchdown drives than anybody else in football.
How about getting a lead before the fourth quarter,
You can't
Staffy?
get the lead when your team sucks, dude. It's not a one. Okay, dude.
If you're getting paid,
how old are you?
I'm 35.
You're 35. You should know. Shame on you. Should know how bad this organization was.
I do.
This was, I'm going to say, the worst organization in professional sports.
Agreed.
Matthew Stafford didn't have the luxury of just going pew, pew, down the field. He didn't have the luxury of a good running game. There was a lot of things. He didn't have a great defense, except for 1 year.
Yeah. He had Calvin. He had Calvin Johnson,
And-
Golden Tate. He had Joik Bell. Was it the 1,000-yard? Joik Bell and Reggie Bush.
Stop with Joik Bell.
I get it's
Behave
different.
yourself.
I get it's different, but he was also the highest paid player in Lions history.
So
50.
what's money got to do with it?
Means perform like you deserve, like play up to your contract. You're the first overall pick. How about you lead the team? How many times are we going to sit through post-game press conferences with Stafford, just giving you the BS, the business?
He was bad in press conferences.
Yeah.
And he would go,
Yeah.
but that doesn't take away what he was as a quarterback.
He's very talented.
You could, you know what? You could have brought Tom Brady into the Lions, and he would have like a 5 or 6 year career, and then he would go somewhere else.
I don't know about that. This team is special.
No, Tom Brady could not elevate this franchise. Nobody could. It was awful. And in fact, players used to, when a player got released or was traded, Lion players used to have like a little, I don't want to call it a ceremony, but they have like a little get together with the player who left, and the message was, congratulations, you are now in the NFL. In other words, you are out of this slop of shit. Now you with a real franchise. Congratulations.
Yeah.
We wish you well.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was.
Sounds a lot like 2021. Like, I get it all looks really good right now. We have Amon-Ra St. Brown, All-Pro. We got Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, and David Montgomery, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell. You know, we know what this team is. But when are we going to start giving Jared Goff some credit for their performance too? Because I'm pretty sure the quarterback has to get the ball into their hands. I'm pretty sure Amon-Ra St. Brown was a 4th-round pick and had, 16 other wide receivers picked before him? Sam Laporta's a 2nd-round tight end. Like, J-Mo was hurt. You got to get the ball into you got to make the right reads. You got to know play.
Here's why Goff is not getting his love. Is because he does all the things well that Lion fans hate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not going deep all the time. He may have a little bit of a noodle arm. And even the balls that he throw that are completed. I mean, I noticed last night, man, he was throwing a whole bunch of wounded ducks.
Yeah, like Peyton Manning, huh?
Bloop, 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 bloop.
Yeah.
But what he does is he finds the open man. He checks down. He hits the intermediate pass very well. But that's not sexy.
Yeah.
People want sexy stuff, and he's not providing for it. He's only providing you dubs.
Yeah.
Which
And
is
that's
great.
sexy to me. Dubs are sexy to me.
Sexy to me, too.
I'm
but
not
that's
lowering my
why-
standards. Why lower your standards?
That's why that's why I had to hear last couple of days Jordan Love is a better quarterback than Goff, and it ain't even close.
It ain't even close. Jared Goff is that much better than Jordan Love. That much better of a quarterback. Peyton Manning threw ducks. Hall of Fame.
Right. But
Jared Goff also put on a clinic in ball placement and accuracy in the first half. Jared Goff throws an interception, strong enough in between the ears, come back the very next drive, score a touchdown. Would he finish the game 14 of 14?
yeah, last 14 passes he complete. That's what he does. He gets on rolls like that. He's like Larry Bird at the free throw line.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit 30 in a row.
Last I checked, that was important.
It's very important.
Not let's screw around for 3 quarters like Stafford and then build up.
Okay.
Get all my stats,
Stafford,
all my fourth quarter stats.
Baby boy, Stafford didn't have a team.
Then take less money and build a team or lead so people want to come play with you. Like,
Bro,
wide receivers want to come play with Goff because he's going to keep them out of trouble. They want to come play for the Lions for so many various reasons. It's not just Goff. But if you're one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, get players to come to you. And you have the best wide receiver, one of the best in NFL history. I thought you were going to go Eric Kramer. I would have accepted Charlie freaking Batch.
Charlie Batch?
Yeah, anybody but Stafford. Pre-teeth.
So you say Charlie Batch is better than Matthew Stafford?
No, I was exaggerating. No, he
Eric
wasn't.
Kramer is better than Matthew Stafford.
No. Eric Kramer won more than Matthew Stafford. Jared Goff has already won significantly more than Matthew Stafford.
But you said Charlie Batch.
I know, and I was being facetious.
Okay.
I should have said Mike McMahon because he was elite on Thanksgiving.
God. What about John Kitna?
Yeah, Kitna too. Culpepper. All of them. Jared Goff has led this team to the playoffs. He's the quarterback of the team that changed the entire trajectory.
Jared Goff has not led the Lions to the playoffs.
Yeah, he has.
Jared Goff has been a very key contributor with St. Brown.
Yep.
With Montgomery.
Yep.
With
Land of misfit toys.
right.
Who's the quarterback? Who gets paid the most?
Holmes. And first of all, here's the other thing. Matthew Stafford, if it's 4th and 1, they're not going for it on 4th down. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't get the opportunity to extend drives.
Yeah, because they don't trust him to make the right read.
No, because it was the mentality. The mentality was 4th down, we're going to be conservative, we're going to punt the ball or whatever. Dan Campbell's coming in like, dude, they're giving me 4 downs, I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, it's not that he has confidence in Jared Goff. It's because he has confidence in David Montgomery. Mm-hmm. He has confidence in St. Brown. He has confidence in his offensive coordinator. He has confidence in Penei Sewell. He has confidence in Frank Ragnow. And he has confidence in himself because I'm this crazy or a wild and crazy guy, I'm going to do whatever I feel like doing.
Yeah. So, hypothetically, week 3, David Montgomery goes down for the season. Is this team dramatically different? Is it over?
No,
what about St. Brown?
I think... what
about Gibbs?
Well, I'll tell you what. It can't be Gibbs and Montgomery.
Fair.
But if Montgomery goes down, I have every confidence in the world that this offense will continue.
If St. Brown?
Will be,
Sorry, continue. My bad.
St. Brown, I was worried about that until last night.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think Tim Patrick can do it. He can carry them.
Now, if Jared Goff goes down in week 3 and has to miss, more than 8 weeks,
well,
can they keep going?
He doesn't have a competent backup.
I keep hearing excuses of why Jared Goff isn't the most important person on this offense.
David Montgomery has Jahmyr Gibbs.
Uh-huh.
St. Brown has the emerging Tim Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
So they have really good and experienced backups. Jared Goff does not.
Mm-hmm. Because he's not going to get hurt because he doesn't leave the pocket, which everyone and their mother wants him to.
He's not going to get hurt because he has a very good offensive line.
Yeah, it's weird. So you build the team around to Jared Goff's strengths, right? I'm pretty sure that team is 12-1. So
No,
you build around Jared Goff's strength,
right.
and you have the
All
best
right,
team in the NFL.
Stop it. You don't build to his strengths.
That's what I've been told.
You were told incorrectly.
You're saying they didn't create this offense for Jared Goff?
No, they created this offense to protect Jared Goff.
Yes.
To overcome Jared Goff's flaws.
Right. That's my point.
Well, flaws and strengths are two different things.
So you play to his strengths, you go 12-1, and you're the best team in the NFL.
You're not playing to his strengths. You are protecting his weaknesses. It's a difference.
You're doing both. You're doing both. I have him number 3 in the MVP race. Jumped over Lamar with this performance. Saquon, Josh Allen, Jared Goff, number 3. Sole possession of third place. Dan Campbell, sole possession of first place.
What? Not going to argue with you. You're probably right. Because last night it was on national TV, even though it was on Amazon Plus or whatever the hell that thing is.
Yeah.
But it was the only NFL game to watch. And those games are essential in voting because writers are not covering games. They're watching stuff. The committee is watching that game. And so when he threw the 5 interceptions against Houston, I said that hurt him a lot.
Yep.
Last night helped him a lot.
Yeah.
And you know what? For Coach of the Year, probably helped Dan Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
Because 4 out of 5, they went for it. I'm sure the voters are appalled. They said, what the hell is he doing? So, it worked. Okay, this is what he does.
I love it. I love it. Lions are 9-2 primetime games under head coach Dan Campbell.
Crazy.
It's crazy. What I should have responded to you with, Terry, on the Jared Goff, and we got to end here in about 60 seconds. The only QB in Lions history to throw for 25-plus touchdown passes in 3 straight seasons, that's Mr. Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm.
Not Stafford, not Charlie Batch or Mike McMahon or Jeff Garcia.
Did anybody else have 5 wide receivers that they could throw to or 5 wide receivers / running backs that they could throw to?
No, but 31 other NFL teams passed on Amon-Ra St. Brown. J-Mo was like, the quarterback gets him the ball. I can't believe you said Stafford.
Stafford is a better quarterback than Jared Goff in his prime. No, maybe not today, but I'm talking about when he was here.
I think not when he was here. But Terry, we got to finish this conversation for another day. Wake Up Woodward is coming in. Actually, they're on site. They're out today, right?
No, we'll be in studio.
Oh, okay.
Some technical issues happen.
Are they coming in?
Yep.
Got you. Well, we would wrap up anyway. Terry, 12-1, first place in the NFC, first place in the NFC
Right.
North.
11 in a row.
11 in a row. So 10 days from now, they got the Bills coming to town.
Yeah, this is a blessing for the Lions. Maybe they can get healthy. Maybe they can get a little mentally more focused. So, Buffalo, man, is going to have a hard time coming in here because this is prime time for the Lions.
Prime time, baby. 9-2 under Dan Campbell in primetime games. Let's do it again.
All right.
Sunday the 15th. We'll see you at 8 a.m. This is Woodward and Maine.
Right.
Tune in. We got a great lineup of shows on the Woodward Sports Network, Terry.
Beautiful.
Followed by Wake Up Woodward, Big D Energy, Armani and Edwards, and the heavyweights rounding things off at
And
5
I
o'clock.
see Flannel hovering.
He's coming.
So he's all foamed up about something.
I'm excited to hear what he has to say about this game. Everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. If you could, hit the like button on the way out. It helps us, helps the show grow, helps this network grow. For Terry Foster, the legend, myself, Jeremy Bryant, this is Woodward and Maine. Go Lions, baby.
All right.